Today we are with the Melbourne Composers League stalwart, Paul MOULATLET. It's been around for years within the organisation, both front of house, behind the scenes, doing lots of things. In many cases, his music is being performed, and we're looking at one particular work today, Désolé Trio, this version being for clarinet, trombone, and vibraphone. Now, the reason I chose this particular work over the others that are in the Melbourne Composers League archive is this is the most popular work out of any on the archive by a mile. So it was a no-brainer, to use a colloquialism, that this is the work that we need to talk about. It has nearly 900 viewings, so which is well and truly above the rest. So congratulations on your popularity, Paul.
Thank you.
There.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yes. So désolé is French for, well, sorry. Is that how you've looked at it?
No, it's French for
multiple things.
Things.
Yes.
I
yes.
used the translation of desolated. So it's a reflection on feeling desolated at loss.
Right. And was that at the time when you were writing the piece in 2009, which was originally for flute, trumpet and vibraphone, were you going through that angst yourself?
Not at that time. It had to do with previous loss that I had experienced, and loss that a lot of people I know experience. So it's not one particular event.
There's a program note also accompanying the Melbourne Composers League performance, which will be appended to this interview. And in it, it says, Désolé is an open form composition in which alternating melodic and harmonic segments can be arranged in various sequences. So let's just unpack that. So open form composition. What do you mean by that terminology?
Open form composition in the John Cagean sense, where chance plays a large part, and the form can be manipulated by performers.
So the form being, because it's in multiple sections,
yes,
isn't
there are harmonic sections and melodic sections.
So are they open for interpretation? So is the sections, or do you choose, have you put down how the sections are laid out, or do the performers select?
What I have put down is that the harmonic section 1, because there are 7 of those and there are 7 melodic sections, harmonic section 1 should be used to open and finish the piece. The other sections can be chosen in any order, and the other provision is that a melodic section is followed by a harmonic section.
Okay, so there is a sense of you still controlling, in many cases, the work in itself. Almost sort of Lutoslawskian as opposed to Cagean in many cases, because he was very much controlling the aleatoric or the chance situation there. So, with you controlling some of it and then the performers controlling some of it, why did you choose the idea that it needed to have did you say harmonic first off?
Yes.
Yes, the harmonic, then melodic, alternation. Why is that important to you?
I think that just came about as the way it was aesthetically pleasing to me when I was arranging the piece or composing the piece.
Certainly the harmonic situations that I hear very much nuance, a more textural understanding. So were you trying to grab those instruments together to make that sort of a more textural understanding?
With the harmonic sections, the aim, and it's in the performance notes, was to create a sense of movement from stability to instability. And that's another thing that the performers have choices in how they play their instruments in those harmonic sections. So they can use multiphonics, they can use different ways of striking the vibraphone, different ways of articulating the wind instruments. So in the harmonic sections, there's that textural element.
And then there's the melodic that goes on to that, which is very much the focus of the vertical between the three instruments. I may say I enjoyed very much, and I can see why we've nearly got 900 hits there, in the fact of the alternation between those, the idea of parameters of the three instruments together, then the melodic sections, which not always stand out as three. There could it could be solo, duo sort of situations there. So, I mean, I like that contrast there. That was what you were trying to aim for, no doubt.
Yes.
The contrasting situation. What was the in the idea of the performer having the responsibility to doing either standard or extended technique? Were you trying to push in any particular way?
Not really. One of the motivating factors was giving performers the choice. It's something that I do in a lot of my compositions. I leave not blank sections, but I leave instructions for certain sections of music where performers can more or less do what they please in timbral terms, or even in terms of notes in some instances. So that's what I was aiming for there.
One of the beauties of having this more as an open or choice derived performance, or chance derived, is that every performance is going to be something different. In many cases, I mean, there's some elements there that are going to be standard, as you've told us, but leaving the performers to their own devices, is that something that you like? Is that a scary situation? Because you know how some composers like to be in control.
No, it's not a scary situation. It's something that I look forward to. Sometimes I would go to a concert thinking, I wonder how this is going to turn out, and I quite like that.
Certainly, that goes with even standard notation pieces as well. I wonder how that's actually going to turn out.
Yeah.
But even more so when you're out of the control work there. So you obviously don't feel as though there's a need for you to totally control the situation.
No, I always trust the performers, particularly with some of the performers that have been employed by the Melbourne Composers League. They're some of Australia's best performers, and I trust them to be able to make some artistic choices and have an input into the outcome.
Mm-hmm. You have said that there are other versions there. What other versions have you written or arranged it for?
There was a version for trumpet, vibraphone and double bass that was performed here in Melbourne. There was a version performed in Malaysia for flute, violin and vibraphone, and there's been a version for flute, trumpet and string quartet.
Goodness.
Which hasn't been performed, but the score was sent to someone, but the concert fell through.
So anybody out there in listening land, there is a version that will get a world premiere if you so desire. So I mean, is it an idea of yours to do lots of arrangements of your works, or is it just happens to be this one in particular?
No, it's an idea I've used on several occasions.
Well, it's pragmatic.
It is, yeah, it is. And I've composed pieces that I've recycled for different instruments. But with this particular piece, there are different versions.
Well, certainly there's two versions available at the Australian Music Centre, the flute, trumpet, vibraphone, as well as the one we've been talking about today and you'll be hearing after this interview, which is the clarinet, trombone, vibraphone section. Both of those can be bought and perused through the Australian Music Centre. So without any further ado, thank you very much, Paul, for your time in talking about this particular trio, the most popular trio in all of the archive. So let's revisit that and have a listen to it again. It was recorded, this particular version, which I think would be the second version of this work.
Yes. This is the second version.
Yes. First version 2009. This version we're going to hear is 2012. Was recorded at the Richmond Town Hall on the 9th of December 2012 with Robert Schubert on clarinet, Barry Webb on trombone, and Peter Neville on vibraphone. Do enjoy it.
Thanks, Joel.